The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. Episode 230, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, 230. It's a Saturday morning. Nice and low key.
Yeah.
Chillaxing. We've actually had like a podcast.
We were talking about life before. Yeah.
Yeah, life. Everybody's got a cough right now. We were talking about how brutal the cold is, or whatever the fuck it is, this viral thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's affecting people. Also, it's been a lot of temperature changes. It's that time of season.
It is true, yeah.
When, you know what I mean, there's pollen, there's all kinds of crazy shit in the air. People with allergies are suffering, I know. So maybe it's that, but everybody's had this chest thing, and it lingers for like weeks.
Dude.
And it's nothing like, at no point, maybe a couple of us, but I don't think anybody who's had it has been like knocked out, like in bed, like the flu.
No, not at all.
But
No temperature,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. Like, yeah, it's just this fucking residual cough, dude, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Because it's like it ramps up at night. And again, Colorado is Colorado, right? So like you said, the temperature changes, right?
Sure.
It's like 75 fucking degrees.
Yep.
And then at nighttime it's like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like the temperature influx is crazy. And I was getting so pissed one night because I was coughing and coughing and coughing. And I was like, what makes you cough more at fucking night? Like I was just like looking online and everything. And
You searched it in all caps.
dude, I was angry. I was like, obviously talking to Chat GTP, like why am I coughing so much at night?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a lower temperatures and allergens and da 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 da.
Sure,
And
all the
I'm like, fuck, that doesn't answer my goddamn question, dude.
I know.
And it's just
Speaking of ChatGPT, by the way,
yeah,
I paid for it.
yeah.
I went ahead and paid for it. Because what I discovered, I was like, I don't think you get anything for the money. You don't get cut off.
You don't get cut off.
Yeah, you can go as long as you want. You can do whatever you want, talk about whatever you want.
And it's not expensive. It's $19 a month.
Bro, I had that thing identify, because I've been struggling with my health. I can't seem to get momentum. You know how it is. At the end of the year, we're particularly busy too. So I'm just trying to get to the end of this school year. And so I just kind of started talking. Because the more, I'm with Chones, DJ Chones said that. ChatGPT is your friend. Like, you got to learn how to use it and finesse it. You can't, it's not Google.
No.
Like, you have to have a back and forth. The more information that it has, the more it can like do stuff. So I've had it kind of identify like the central issues that are keeping me from getting in shape, and then to design me like a realistic plan from now until summer, and then one that I can do once summer starts.
Okay.
Fucking, it spit all kinds of stuff. It gave me a tracking sheet, like some major habits to change. Yeah. And it told me to slow down and it wants me doing 2 workouts, 1 basketball session per week, and that's another concern, my knee, dude. But I'm not losing weight, and so that's
the other thing too. When you're heavier, it's heavier on your joints.
Everything, everything. Your health overall, I think, is just generally bad when you have a high body fat percentage.
Yeah.
But dude, ChatGPT, and I mean, I use it for all kinds of things. We did it for the front. I used it for the front yard. So I like took a picture of the yard and was like, "How can we make this pop?" And we were like, "Oh, that's a great idea. We'll put that right there." And it creates this like AI generated looking picture of your yard. Yeah. But it like has different stuff or whatever. I was like, it's worth it. And my wife, she hit me up. She's like, "Did you pay for ChatGPT? It's $20 a month." And I said, "Yeah, I'll find a cost somewhere to cut."
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. This thing is so valuable.
$20.
Yeah, I know. But see, I'm the kind of I'll leak stuff because I'm always buying guitar picks. And little things for the studio, and
I'm gonna make you guitar picks now. I can make guitar picks, dollar.
You can make me a what?
I can make you guitar picks now.
Oh, because you got that cutter thing.
No, I got the 3D printer.
Oh, bro, make me some.
I can make you lots of. I was looking online yesterday because I'm trying to make so our CAFA conference is next week.
Okay.
And I wanted to make something special for our outgoing president, Shannon. And I was trying to figure out like a way because she's also like a musician. She plays in a band called Church Fire, and I'm trying to get her on the podcast too because her and her partner do this amazing like girls camp in the summer. For music and everything like that too. And so I was trying to find a way to like make a customized like guitar gavel, because like a judge's gavel. Like,
sure, that's a guitar.
Yeah, it's like a guitar. I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to make that, but I'm not that savvy on on 3D printing.
Yet.
Yes, yeah. But I found a gavel and I found a little guitar. I found a legit mini Fender Stratocaster replica.
Ooh, neat.
And it's like this big. It's like,
That's
like
cool.
6 inches big.
Yeah, it's like models for musicians.
And so I was like, I can make that. I was like, but I think I'm just gonna make a gavel and like custom put her name on it and stuff like that too. But when I was looking,
Yep.
they make guitar wall mounts.
Mhm.
I can make a guitar wall mount. I can make a guitar picks for $1.
Dude.
I can make like all this kind of stuff. Like I can make a guitar.
Well, I wonder what it would sound like.
I don't know, but there's like things online to make a guitar. I can make a guitar on my fucking 3D printer, like piece by piece.
What? What the hell? You're going to go into guitar manufacturing now?
It's going to take a long time though, because like those printers take a long time to print things out.
I can get one guitar out a year.
One a year.
One a year.
But it'd
Maximum.
be a fucking expensive ass guitar, right? Because it's 1 a year.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah,
But the picks. I can make picks, dude.
Oh man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool.
So I might make some Tony Dollar picks now.
Dude, I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
You can do different colors and everything too. And
yeah, I use the ones I use for any guitar players out there that want to nerd out on picks. It's the Tortex. A lot of guitar players use Tortex. Most of them use whatever the orange one is. They're different thickness.
Okay.
So I use the red ones, and I can't remember what they are, 0.5 millimeter or something like that. And so they have like a little bit of give to them, so that you can use them for like picking style stuff, but you can also
jam out.
Just totally strum. You can tell I've gotten the music going again. I've been working, I'm writing, I'm putting some stuff together for summer. I just miss music, and it's going to be good this because I'm coming in the end of this job, and
I can make you loop pedal stands too. There was another thing that was
that would be amazing, because I've actually been thinking about that. I want to compile all of them. Hey, might as well do it on the podcast. I was going to ask you this off the podcast, but I've been thinking a lot about music, and I overthink my music a lot, and I always kind of have. So
yes, I will be your manager.
That's a given. That's a given. This podcast is my main promotion platform, even though half the listeners probably don't even know I'm a musician, like the math teacher guy. So I'm looking at two avenues. One is putting an album together. By the way, ChatGPT is helping me schedule the whole, map the whole thing out with a plan and a time scope, because I want to work on it through the whole end of the summer and then release it in the fall.
Okay.
And then I'm on the other end, I'm looking to get out and perform live. That's where I'm having some questions about what I want to do.
Okay.
Because in an ideal world, I would put a band together. I would get a bass player and a drummer minimally, maybe another guitar player, maybe a keyboard player, something like that. It's not realistic in my life.
Yeah.
I got too much shit going on, coordinating all those people, finding a spot to reherse. Because this is great as a rehearsal space if it wasn't a podcast studio, so you can't do both. Mm-hmm. So when I'm doing my live show, I've sort of lost what I want to do. I don't know, because I for listeners, I'm like kind of a nobody, but I gigged for a long time, and I would play lots of these gigs that were like 2, 3, sometimes 4-hour shows.
Yeah, the long shows, dude.
And so I really got into the loop pedal because it helped me to be able to play. I can make a song 10 minutes and entertaining the whole time, solos and all kinds of stuff, changing the rhythms up, because you can loop things back. And by the way, I started doing this before the whole Ed Sheeran thing exploded. Yeah, I just was never as good at it. Yeah. I'll just be real. But it's been but now I'm thinking about live. And I've thought about some of the stuff you've said to me before about like Dancing in the Sunshine. Your favorite recording of that is literally, I just turn on the mic acoustic, and I just jam it out. So I'm trying to decide if what I really want to do live should I ditch it and just really go? I think I'm figuring this out as we talk already. But I don't know. How do you see my live performance being its best? What would you, of all, my music, like seeing me live, how would you want, if you were like, damn, that Tony Dollar, I don't even know who that guy is, he's putting on a show, I definitely want to go check it out. What are you hoping that when you're there, you're going to see and experience? Oh, that's the perfect question.
Well, I mean, if it's just Tony Dollar, then I'm just there to see Tony Dollar.
What do you think? Any thoughts on the loop pedal versus no loop pedal? It's a big question in my mind, because it sort of puts you in a box.
Yeah. The loop pedal is nice because it gives you that freedom. The freedom, and also it gives you that additional aspect too, though, that people are like, oh, he has two things going on right now, right? It's like,
people always
that, right?
Want to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing?
Yeah. And so I think that's a good aspect in it, is using that. as far as like the band thing goes, I mean, I have never seen you with a band. So I don't know that.
Well, I was in a reggae band for a few years.
Yeah, the Despicables.
And we had a lot of success locally.
And then you were with Fresh.
And I did a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And those gigs were a lot of times similar to what I did in my solo stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of bars, lots of long ass shows.
Yeah.
And so with Fresh, it was fun because we would just jam. Whereas Despicables, we had structured songs.
Yeah.
I wrote about 80% of them, and then we had about 20 that we put together as a group.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun. What I liked about it is it's the difference between like being a totally free front man versus being like a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Where you're chained to your guitar and you're performing. Okay, that's helpful. It's good to know. And the band thing, if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Even if it was fucking awesome, which I think it is.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. I have other priorities in my life. That's the reality.
Well, yeah, because if you did band thing, then yeah, you got a rehearsal.
That's what I'm saying.
All that kind of different.
Oh,
things.
Yeah. And then
unfortunately, I don't know how to play drums.
Oh God, can you imagine? Can you imagine if you were like an expert drummer?
How long does it take to learn drums?
I don't know. It's a little bit of coordination. I mean, if you put your mind to it, it's like anything you do. You'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really the hard part for drumming and I'm just like a total amateur drummer. But it's the idea of being able to keep like a hi-hat going like on a quarter note, like
yeah.
Right. And then you've got your kick drum down here. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Those are all three doing different things. And so like really good drummers, they can have like 6 different. I mean, they just
and that's wild. I watched this YouTube channel called Drumeo. And this Drumeo thing is dope. Like they get musicians that don't normally play the style of music that they're asking them to play. And so like there's like these ones that's like, play Toxicity from System of a Down.
Sure.
Like wake up. Like right.
Okay.
And it's these. So what they do is they give these drummers. They like ask them like, "Have you ever heard of this song before?" And it also boggles my mind, by the way, on this shit because they're like, are you familiar with this song? This Rage Against the Machine. Bulls on Parade. Are you familiar with the song?
And they'll be like, no.
And it's like, no. And I'm like,
what?
How do you not know this song? And you're a fucking drummer. And like, how do you not know this fucking song? Or like another one was like Tool. They did Tool, and Tool's like a real fucking hard one because like, the music that they do is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's convoluted.
And some of them are like 10-minute fucking songs. So a drummers have to fucking drum for 10 fucking minutes, dude. Mm-hmm. But anyways, or like, I learned that they also like splice that stuff in too. But in a live show, they're doing that fucking for 10 minutes. But anyways, so this Drumeo, right? They give them the music dollar without the drums.
Oh, I've seen
and
this.
They have to figure it out. Like
it's so fun to watch.
Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers also did it too
for
someone. But yeah, it's crazy like how close they get to actually like the drums in these songs. And it's like wild. And then there's just another part of that series of the Drumeo where they do they learn the song. So like with Tool, they were learning the song. And like this guy took like 4 hours to learn the song. He was like writing things down. He's like, "Oh, what
and
is
then
it?"
just mastered
he's like,
it.
He's like, "Is this at 120? Is it 128
BPM?"
Yeah, he's like, "Is that 128?" He goes, if I was drumming this, would be at 128. And and then he started listening to the drums. He goes, "Yep, perfect. It's at 128." And he's like,
wow.
And then he starts like writing it. He's like, "Okay, what is this?" He's doing this, and it's just listening. They're not watching him do it. He's listening to the drums. And he's like, okay. And he's like, and then they fucking like master the song.
Damn, dude.
In like a certain amount of time, and like, yeah, it's fucking wild.
That is wild.
But like I was like thinking about it, I was like, yeah, like when I was watching them, Tony, and the double kicks.
The double kick drum, yeah.
Dude, that is to me is wild because they're like and they're like doing this and like still doubling it with their feet and doing other shit and just like I'm just like fuck the amount of coordination in that, dude.
I think it's a different thing, but what's the dude with the beard?
His weird name is like Samish 6 something. He has like a weird name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I know she's talking about. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's ridiculous. He's just like
unbelievable.
Yeah, and he does like metal and all that stuff. And yeah. But yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, he's really good.
You know what's funny is that I think the longer
his drum setup, is ridiculous.
Oh, I know, dude. I know. There are guys who have 3 kicks, by the way. I just don't know. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun to watch. He's fun to watch too because his stick work is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he'll like have one like floating on the other stick while he's like drumming it's doing the hi-hat or whatever. But I think the more people, when you play music a long time, for me, what's fun is like trying to learn a song when I was like 16 was so much harder than learning a song now. Because after you learn so many songs over the years, there's only so many chord progressions. There's only so many combinations. There's only so many rhythms that sound good. And so now when I'm like, hey, I want to learn a song, there's times I hear a song on the radio and I can tell, or not on the radio, like I'm fucking listening to the radio Pierce.
6'6" Samus, that's his name.
Okay, cool.
And he was the one, he did the Led Zeppelin song. That's like a
oh yeah, I saw that one.
Fucking long ass.
That's one of my favorite drummers of all time.
Yeah,
John Bonham.
Yep.
From Led Zeppelin. He was one of the greatest drummers ever to live. When I was an aspiring drummer, when I was like in my teens, that's who I wanted to be. Yeah. I was like, I want to be John Bonham or Eddie Vedder, and I'll sing one of the two.
Yeah,
it's got to be one of the two. I was introducing my youngest daughter to Pearl Jam Vitology. I don't know if you even know this album. So they had like their big albums were like 10 and Verses.
Yeah.
And then after that, I believe it was their third album was Vitology, and they really changed gears.
Okay.
And they went, like, have you ever heard the song Better Man? Can't find a better man. Never heard that?
No.
Okay. That was like the only big hit off of there. They had a song called like Spin the Black Circle.
Okay.
It was like spin, do, 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 do. And it was like this like heavy thrashing, rock song, whatever. So I played her a couple of those songs and she was like, oh my God, these are so good. She's like adding them to her playlist.
Huh.
That's Macaria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jillian, it's like all pop.
All
and
pop, yeah.
Bruno Mars and hip hop and rap and all that good stuff, which I listen to, Chuck listens to too. I think that's one cool thing in our family, and it's probably a lot of families nowadays, got to be. Just listen to everything. Listen to everything. There's no real type of music I don't like. There's probably some certain like crazy metals maybe that I'm not feeling. Yeah. But it's probably a band to band. There's probably somebody that makes it interesting.
I think them the same way. Like metal is kind of, some metal is real hard for me to get on board with.
A lot of people felt that way about grunge when it came out.
Really?
Because it was so thrashy and sloppy.
You know what everybody fucking, again, and I think it's universal, is ska. Everyone makes fun of people who listen to ska. I like ska. I like ska a lot because I like horns.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like ska. I tried incorporating it when I was performing a lot when I was younger into my music.
Yeah.
It's too hard, bro. It's too hard because like the general like one drop reggae was just a whack, whack.
Yeah.
But then you do ska and you're like the whole time, dude, and you're on the offbeat. Yeah. And it's too hard as a singer-songwriter trying to fucking skank something up like that.
Yeah.
I wonder where that word skank comes from, because I'm thinking of Bob Marley's like he used that lyric a few times, like skanky rhythm, skank rhythm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then when I was young, skank was like that was like a hoe.
Yeah. Skank.
Man, she's skanky, bro.
She's skanky, bro. I'm like, what?
Dude, so there was a couple things I've been doing since we talked last time. I've been doing some deep dives on some animals.
Okay.
On some crazy fucking extinct animals.
Oh, extinct animals. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple just worthy of mention, like the Titanoboa. So a 42 foot long snake, bro. 42 feet long. That is crazy. That's like if you put what 7 of me.
Yeah.
From foot to head, 7
That's ridiculous.
Of me. And that's how long that fucking snake is. And some of the pictures and stuff of it are like, the artist renditions of it or whatever are remarkable to see like the human size. There's no doubt they would eat humans. So, but anyway, that was one. Just one
even a regular ass fucking boa dollar can eat a human.
Yeah.
That'd be like a snack.
Yeah, I know.
Like nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So there was another one, bro. Listen to this. This is where modern day Iowa is.
Okay.
It used to be ocean. And these were ocean-dwelling creatures. But they also came onto land occasionally. 5-foot-long scorpion. It was called Pentacopterus decorahensis, I guess.
5 foot.
Can you imagine? I was like looking at Zoe and I'm like trying to picture a scorpion like damn near twice her size. Can you imagine if you're just on the beach looking for seashells?
Yeah. Like, no. Yeah. No, not on the beach, like the desert, right?
Yeah, well, they were water dwelling.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
They were mostly water dwelling.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. You're walking along. They would have come from the water side.
Oh, yeah, like a crab.
You'd be like, sploosh, sploosh, what is that? Oh, my God. Can you imagine? And you've seen insects. Can you imagine if they were our size, how fucking fast that scorpion would be?
Yeah, because like I said, if there was a ant that was the size of a dog, it'd be faster than a Ferrari.
Yeah, right. No, dude. No.
Yeah. Now you have this fucking Ferrari that's equipped with a weapon.
God,
right?
Save us all.
Right? And plates.
You think about just life. Some of these, now these are all over the place, the ones I'm listing. Some of them were like way before humans. Some of them were, some like, well, there's Smilodon, which coexisted. That's a saber-toothed cat.
Yeah.
Like the big.
Okay.
Those things were fucking ferocious. And they weren't gigantic, but they were big. I mean, they would easily overpower modern lions or even tigers. And that's another, I did get stuck on a video about tigers. Tigers are crazy, bro. Like, they are the king of the cat kingdom.
They're larger than lions.
They're the biggest. They're the swiftest.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, too, why they're orange. I was like, how is a predator orange? Like, look at lions, right? They're kind of like this yellow gold that blends
in their area of the desert, right?
Sure.
So,
Whereas tigers are hunting in green forests.
Yeah.
Where it's like humid, dark browns and greens. And they're this like neon orange. And it's because most of the stuff that they hunt is colorblind.
Oh.
And so the way that they show up, they were showing.
But how would you know to adjust your body like that? Like evolution-wise.
Well, they don't know. So the way evolution works is that at a certain point, like if let's say they were all some color, whatever color stood out really bad.
Yeah.
Right. And the population is just dying off or whatever. And nobody's getting anything. A couple or one genetic offspring, because there's always genetic variation in every generation. All of a sudden one comes out and it's got some weird stripes that are slightly more advantageous. They get seen a little bit less than the thing.
And they're surviving better.
They survive at higher rates. Then they have kids, right? And that's why evolution takes so long.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. That's why people are like, people don't have a good understanding of evolution. They think that we evolved from monkeys. And that's why people are like, oh, fuck that. I don't believe that. That's not. No, we didn't, dude. Us, monkeys, apes, all that. We all have a common ancestor. In fact, everything alive on the planet has a common ancestor. Bacteria. If you go back far enough to
bacteria.
Right. I didn't evolve from a bacteria. Like, no, but you and modern bacteria evolved from the same ancestor.
Yeah.
That's the way to say it, So people don't really realize that. So with tigers, they, it doesn't, however they look with those stripes and those particular colors, they blend in for the things that are looking out for them and trying to avoid being fucking eaten.
No, tigers are ridiculous, dude.
They're so big.
They're big, and that's how you make a liger, right? Is it a female tiger and a male lion? Right? Is that how it is? No.
I'm not sure.
I think it's flip-flopped. No, that's how it is. Because the female tiger, I think, is bigger than the male tiger, right?
I don't know.
Let's look here real quick.
I'm trying to look up how big are tigers. I want to get some ballpark numbers here. Okay. 660 pounds, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Okay, so it is a male. Yeah, so I'm right. It's a male lion and a female tiger. So that way they makes that giant ass liger, but it can't be the opposite way because it doesn't work that way. So you can't have a male tiger to a female lion.
Interesting.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But I've seen a liger in person, and that thing is ridiculous.
They're crazy, but they do look a little goofy, right?
Yeah, they're like
light. Bit.
They're like faded tigers, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and they're kind of clunky and big. They're big as fuck.
Well, and they don't live as long,
right?
Because they're
sure.
They're together. So yeah.
Okay. So this one's for you, buddy.
Okay.
There's two of them.
All right.
Oh
fuck! Is it a bird?
Okay, it's called Harpagornis moriae.
Okay.
And this is a giant ass bird with a 10-foot wingspan.
Bird.
Who is that, Alexa?
No, it's Gemini.
Gemini. What were they doing?
I don't know. Harper something.
Oh, maybe you heard me say something about the...
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a giant ass bird, dude.
Okay.
10-foot wingspan. They're descendants of raptors. So like velociraptors and those...
So it's a killer bird.
Yes. Now, here's the kicker with these guys.
All right.
They coexisted with humans.
What?
Yes. So the last one they went extinct about 700 years ago.
Okay.
But
700 years ago, that's not that long, dude.
No.
Oh my God.
It's really not, dude. And so this was in New Zealand.
Okay.
And so I listen to a lot of reggae out of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so I hear the word Maori a lot.
Okay.
Right? I'm fucking slaughtering the word. It's like Maori, something like that. Maori. When they say it, it sounds like moldy.
Okay.
Moldy. But so that's actually the name of the people that are native to New Zealand that were there way back in the day. And they have all kinds of stories of people getting snatched up, mostly kids. Kids were just the right size. They were much easier, but it wasn't unheard of that they would snatch an occasional guy, like a full-grown ass man. So when I saw that, I was like, I absolutely have to tell Pierce about this. They existed at the same time as people.
Fuck
and
that.
Literally swooped people up.
Fuck that shit.
I bet there's all these people online that are like, I think they're still alive. There's still a few. Like, I'm not going to New Zealand.
I'm done. I wanted to go to New Zealand.
The natives call them puakai.
Fuck
Giant
that.
fucking bird. Puakai.
That's what it translates to. Giant fucking bird.
Yeah, probably. So I thought I put a little star next to that one. I was like, I got to tell Pierce about this.
That's just god awful, right?
It's the worst.
Because like, if you're looking around, right, you can see like, something stalking you, maybe, right, or something running towards you. Yeah. But now you have the element of the air.
Dude, I was reading some of the accounts, and that was the thing. It's like by the time you realize you see it, it's a shadow, and then fucking swoop, too late. Yeah. You barely realize what's happening.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like even modern day birds, right? Like the peregrine falcon.
Okay,
that thing can get close to like, I think it's over like 150 miles an hour, right? When it gets down to its swooping thing, like almost 200 miles.
How fast?
Like over 100. I swear to God,
150 miles per hour.
Yeah,
like is that the one though that like punches the shit out of things? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen these.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I believe it. I believe it's that fast.
Now imagine that as a fucking giant ass bird,
dude. Well, they have an ancestor.
Oh my God.
These did not coexist with humans. They lived a much longer time ago, but they were called Palagornis sandersi. I'm probably slaughtering all these names. They're Latin. No one knows how to really say them anyway. Pelagornis sandersi. It had a 24-foot wingspan, Mike. 24 feet.
Peregrine falcon at maximum speed diving. Okay. Like diving. Mm-hmm. Oh 240 miles an hour.
Shut up. That's why it kills those things. The impact. Yeah. How is it okay during the impact? It's structure.
So, by the way, if that hits you as a regular person, that falcon hits you as a regular person at 240 miles, you're gonna.
Bro, if anything hits you at 200 something miles an hour, you're probably a goner, depending on what it is and where it hits you exactly.
Like if that bird hit me in the head,
you're done.
Yeah,
you're done.
Jesus dollar.
Yeah. So, but can you imagine their ancestor that had a 24-foot wingspan?
That's stupid. It's twice as big. More than twice as big.
They can go 700 miles per hour straight down.
Oh my God, dude! Fucking A.
They used to kill elephants.
Fucking yeah. It's like a jet coming down at you. Jesus, dude.
Dude, it's remarkable how many different types of animals existed in history. Like I was thinking just now about this elephant I saw. It was called like a scoop jaw elephant. It had like its lower jaw was like this giant fucking shovel, and it was thought to be like a predator.
Okay,
and it would like kill things with that thing.
But scoop people
and
up.
If you think about it, like everything that we find, that's just what we find. Think of all the other animals that just didn't happen to get preserved right, or we didn't stumble onto it, or stumble onto it yet.
Or they're still like deep in the ground.
It's so crazy. It's like I'm just so glad we exist at the time we exist. But honestly, humans had a lot to do with it. So that one in New Zealand, what was it called? The Harpagornis moriae. That one went extinct from humans.
Huh. Oh, from
you know what I'm saying? I think most of the shit like that, humans have gotten rid of.
We're like, fuck that shit. We're not dying no more.
Yeah, they think that humans contributed to the fall of the North Face, short-faced bear.
Yeah. Because they were like, we're fucking done dying, bro.
And American lions, like all those things. Like they're just like, we're gonna kill every one of them.
We're done dying. Okay, that's it. We're just gonna kill all these. Like same with like wolves, right?
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Was that last episode or the one before? Yeah. Giant wolves, dude. We were talking about. I was saying wolves, it was like Twilight. Yeah. When they turned into wolves, it's like giant horse-sized wolves. They did. They had massive wolves that were.
Fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah. Fuck.
Like I said, that would suck. Just walking outside of your house. Like, all right, I'm going to work today. Swoop. Gone. No, I gotta go. Yeah, just gone.
Turning into a speck in the fucking horizon.
You know, or if they're like,
or they're the kinds that drop you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Just take you way up in the air and just like, see ya.
Crunch. And then go eat you.
But they say generally, like if you're like when people commit suicide from tall skyscrapers and stuff, that they generally have like a heart attack before.
Oh yeah, I've heard this before.
They hit the thing because it's
which is wild.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, it's that exhilarating that you just have a heart attack. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's really crazy, man.
That's I couldn't imagine like just fucking being dropped. I remember when I lived by DU. I had just gotten outside, and there was a falcon that lived in one of our giant ass trees. Like its nest was there, but every single fucking day. There'd be a new like patch of feathers or fur in the front yard.
Something got fucking
swooped up and dropped and ate.
Murked.
And one day I came outside and it had just like dropped it or something. And it was just there, like ripping all the fucking feathers off.
Thing was completely dead though.
I was like, I was like, oh my God, dude. And like looked at me and like, and it goes like, flew away. I was like, oh my God, bro. Like, Jesus. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. Like even to this day, right? Those golden eagles that those Mongolians use.
Yeah, those giant ones.
They fucking pick up like deer and shit.
I know.
That's stupid.
That's crazy.
That's
stupid, such a big ass bird.
Yeah, hollow ass bones, just like taking you away.
Yeah, it's always interesting the predators that you underestimate.
Yeah,
they don't seem. You look at them like, it's not. And then you watch how violently they murk.
Yeah, but I will fuck up a goose dollar.
Yeah,
I've
seen people fuck up goose on videos.
Oh, fuck a goose up. I hate geese. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, well, they're aggressive. They can be.
They're rude ass animals, bro. Yeah. They're just fucking. They think everything is there. Shit everywhere. Yeah. Just eat whatever, and then they're like, I'm gonna lay my eggs here, and people are like, don't disturb the eggs.
Like, you're like, fuck those people.
Crush those eggs.
What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah,
that's funny. You really hate geese.
Yeah, fucking hate geese, dude. Like.
Did you have a bad experience with one growing up by chance?
No, when I was little, my brother got chased by a goose that my grandparents have on their farm.
Okay,
right? They
just had one.
Yeah, okay. They have goose eggs and stuff like that, and so they would eat goose eggs, things like that, And they're huge. Goose eggs are huge, dude. They're pretty big.
Yeah, I bet.
And so, but yeah, my it wasn't me. My brother got chased down. He was like, we were in front. It was ghetto farm. It's Fresno.
Oh,
and
okay.
so
my
brother was eating an apple, and he was like, "You want a bite of the apple?" To the goose, and the goose was like,
"Give me the apple."
He did the hiss and started like flapping its big ass wings as a white goose, and like chasing my brother. No, chasing my brother, and I was just like living there, like, damn, that goose is gonna get him. Yeah, I was like, Anyway, my brother like made it into the house, but the goose was like
watching him through the window.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude. But no. The reason I hate geese is like, you're at a park, and you're just like walking around and like hissing at you and like coming at you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, bro.
Yeah.
No. Like I've had it happen a couple of times, and I was just like, oh, like you just do like the jerk, like, and then like they stop. Like, yeah, I'm not fucking around with you, dude. Yeah, I'm not fucking around with you. Or golfing. There's a lot of geese on.
That's what I was going to say. When I used to run at the golf course, I'd see them all the time.
Yeah. Because they like that. I don't know what it is. I think they like that
type of grass,
yeah,
probably
something like that. And then There's shit everywhere. There's shit like on like the greens when you're trying to fucking putt and all that stuff, and you're just like it pisses you off. I'm just like, oh,
they're just annoying animals in general.
Yeah.
Do people eat those?
Yeah,
you can eat them.
So there was an initiative in Denver like a couple years ago
to not eat them.
No, to capture because they were getting rampant
out of control.
Yeah. Oh wow. And so I think there was like a max of like 600 they could capture, and what they were doing was using it to feed homeless. You're using the geese to feed the homeless, which is good. It's nice. It's good. You know,
it's trippy though.
Fuck geese. For real.
I'm trying to think. I had duck before, but I've never had goose before.
I've had goose before. They're greasier.
Wow, and duck to me is greasy.
Yeah.
So they're even greasier.
Even more greasier, yeah.
Yeah, that's
a little
pretty
bit
crazy.
more fatty.
Dude, another thing that is going on right now is that, so it's funny because this came up on the show before where we talked about YouTubers, because back in the day, pranking was like the shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody, you go do these stupid pranks on people in public, you know, sometimes dangerous. There was like the guys who'd go into the hood and fuck around, you know, or whatever. And every once in a while somebody'd get their ass kicked or something like that. People have fallen out of taste with that. Yeah. It's not really a thing anymore. It's there. There's always going to be this little niche of prank, you know, people watching pranks, but it's not what it was. And I was commenting a couple episodes ago about how weird it is to watch some of these guys age and like not know it. Because there's like Roman Atwood, right? You remember him?
Yeah.
So he's really transitioned. He's become an older guy. He's got multiple businesses now. He's moved on from all the crazy shit he used to do. Whereas that guy Vitali, have you seen this?
Yeah, the Fat Track was the one talking about it too. Yeah,
bro. So he decided that he's going to bring his career back, and decides to do it in the Philippines. The Philippines don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Fool. They just murder people for having drugs.
Yeah.
Like they don't care. And he's out there just doing all these stupid things. He took a cop's hat. He's like running from the cop and fucking around with people, doing all this crazy shit. And then wind of it gets to the police, the top of the police, chief of police or whatever. Yeah. And then it gets all the way to the top of the government. And they're just like, yo. And then he makes a statement. He's like, yo, people coming into Philippines making fools out of us who think they can get away with it. We're going to set a really good example. So you know.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's in jail right now. He's been in jail. They're saying he won't even won't be fully sentenced for like 3 years.
Oh, geez.
For 3 years. And you know what he's facing?
What?
24 years in prison. Damn. He's 33 now.
Yeah.
And plus the 3 years it's going to take before trial. Motherfucker's going to be 60 years old when he gets out. What? Grow up, dude.
Yeah.
That's part of it, is grow up. The other part is, damn, Philippines. Yeah. Like, right? Oh my God. This guy's life's over.
Yeah.
His life's over for fucking around and finding out. I just think it's wild. He's crazier than I realized, though, because I saw this guy explaining his background. I don't know if you knew this. Did you ever watch him? And we all saw him.
Yeah,
right?
His stuff was just crude.
Yeah. And rude sometimes and awkward, like with females and shit like that. So I guess he had been arrested 21 times for various things, like doing random ass shit. Some of them were, you know, stupid, and some of them were just like, this dude he should be locked up.
Yeah.
Like he had one time we said he was on mushrooms, but it seemed like maybe he was on multiple drugs.
Uh-huh.
But he was on a hiking trail and decided as a prank he was going to jump out of the bushes and run up and hug a female jogger.
Oh, that's assault, brother.
Yep. So he runs up, grabs her. She punches him. He proceeds to beat the living shit out of her.
Oh, Jesus.
And got in big trouble. I think he got off. Like his lawyer they like settled out of court or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But dude, homeboy is like, that's the kind of people you just don't want. Like, how did this guy do all this on camera for so long? And as a society, we were like, accepted it.
Yeah,
it was funny. Or even, who cares? Whatever. I don't watch that shit, but he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, you're being an idiot.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it, though, the Philippines going that hard on him. Take your whole life away. You know what I mean? There's people murdering and doing way worse shit.
No. Don't do it.
For sure, get away with it.
Yeah.
You ever think about how many people are out there that get away with crimes? Like heavy crimes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Murder.
Oh.
Giant robberies that, you know, That's rarer, right? But I'm sure it happens. I wonder how often that happens where somebody pulls off like an actual heist, like a big robbery, and successfully gets away with it. It's not that common in history, probably. There's like some big ones that people know about.
Because there's always somebody that caves in and fesses up, right? Because that's what happens. Like, right. I remember there was the biggest heist in history, was that armored truck heist that happened, and they still caught people because somebody
eventually
slipped up.
Well, and I think now everything's so recorded. There's a trail.
Yeah, that's a trail.
Digital trail.
DNA now, dude. Like, you can a tiny strand of hair that you leave behind at the scene.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, dude.
I know.
And it's like, granted, like, if somebody's not ever in the database or anything like that. So, like, if Tony Dollar decides to go kill some random ass person in another town, it'd probably be hard.
The views of Mike Pierce.
But I'm just saying, right? It'd probably be harder because you're just, it's a random person. Mm-hmm. There's no tie to Tony Dollar and that person. So maybe in that situation.
Yeah, those are the weird ones in history.
Yeah.
Like the murderers who are like living dual lives.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones who are like isolated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got some crazy basement they're living in somewhere nobody knows.
Yeah.
Just fucking lurking in the shadows. But then there's like the people who are like going to a normal job.
Yeah.
Living a normal life. Jacking people. Hiding them. Cutting up their bodies. Disposing.
Yeah.
Serial killers. Woo! That shit's crazier. That's way crazier, right? That's so much more frightening. When you see like people get into a street fight and somebody gets killed or something like that, or gang violence, it's tragic, right? But it's not scary. But to me, the psychopaths are fucking scary. When it's like premeditated murders and you're off socially.
So a serial killer is defined as an individual who murders 3 or more people over a period of time, often with gaps in between killings.
3 or more. So if you kill 3 people, you're not a serial killer. No, I mean, 2. If you kill 2.
Yeah.
If you kill 2 and maim 1.
Yeah.
You're not. You didn't get the status.
Yeah. And that's it. Oh, damn it.
Get back out there, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't give up. It's terrible.
Yeah. So 3 or more. These murders are usually motivated by psychological factors, and the killers often has a cool-off period between each killing. Mm. These murders are not part of a single event, but rather a series of separate incidents. Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, it's like a whole definition of.
I could, I almost said I can see it. I'd be like the famous
Tony Dollars
taken away today to jail just for saying some crazy ass shit. But because I always wonder, when people are that off and they kill. But the part of it that I can kind of relate to, and I honestly think it's from being a weed smoker and growing up in a time when weed there was a period in our life when weed was was like the most evil shit.
Yep.
And there's something about smoking weed and getting away with it. There's something about that feeling that I think sometimes heavy duty criminals get carried away with that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Let's steal more. Even more money than last time.
Yep.
Let's get even more.
Yep.
Right? And same with people who are
I'm going to stop after this time.
Yeah. Right. Until your money runs out.
Yeah.
Until a buddy needs a hand.
Yeah, or the cool-off period, right? That they were saying of the serial killers, like, I'm not going to kill anymore. I just need to get that one out. And then the cool-off period, then the cool-off period happens, right? And then they're like, oh my God, something's triggering them.
To me, there's something so different about like a physical conflict between 2 people that results in death, right?
Yeah.
Where one person gets killed, and you're like, oof. And it's usually, the bigger person or the stronger person or the more skilled person or whatever, most of the time. But what's weird about those kind of things, like serial killers and stuff, they're not always people of big stature or anything. They premeditate. And that's why it's so frightening, I think, to all of us, is because it's part of our DNA and our evolution is to trust each other, because without each other, we're all going to fucking be dead.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes along once in a while that doesn't give a shit about that code, doesn't give a shit about trust, you can murder people because they're not going to see it coming. No. Because you know what I mean? Those down. To me are creepier and scarier than
the
like
guard
2
is
people.
down. Yeah.
Right. Your guard's up in a fight.
Yeah.
And you might still lose and everything, but you kind of see what's happening.
Yeah.
But you might have a 3'7" person, just murdering this jacked black belt and whatever, slowly poisoning them, whatever the fuck they do. You know what I mean? There's so much darkness out there, and you know it exists. There's so many people. There's people out there right now that have for sure gotten away with killing people.
Easy.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. What is wrong with us? We did not get Jesus' message. It's murdering people. But that's the thing. Jesus says that you got to forgive those people.
Yeah.
You got to forgive everybody.
Oh my gosh. I went to Callie's cousin's baptism last Sunday.
Okay.
At a Baptist church.
Do you know what? Oh, Baptist. Okay. Yeah. That was my question.
And so it was just, it really annoyed me, Dollar. Really annoyed me. Because, I'm not a person of structured religion.
Yeah.
And when we were there, the pastor was like, and we're working on getting a Bible into each class into 60 school districts here in the area.
What about the people that aren't Christian?
That's what I said too. Like I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, all right. I was like, and did you know it's not illegal? The separation of church and state. He was like, it was a letter that was written by Thomas Jefferson, to the Baptist church, saying, with maybe not press this and that, right, into the schools. And he's like, so it's not illegal to provide Bibles to these schools, and that's our mission. We need to provide, and we want to be able to get to 60 schools, all these Bibles and everything like that, and because I think they need to understand the message of God. And I was like, well, if we're going to put it in that perspective, then you're going to have to allow Satanism in. You're going to have to allow. You guys can't get pissed when some Satanist all of a sudden wants to put out their fucking book into the schools, and you're going to be like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for like world religion classes where you just, you try to represent everybody. Yeah. This is what's going on out there. This is what they believe. Yeah. I could even not be opposed to like if you wanted to choose a specific religion and have a deep dive like you do with the language of Spanish. Spanish language.
That was one of my classes I took.
I want to learn about. Yeah. Oh, what'd you take?
I took world religion in college.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But even a deep dive class that was like, this is Christianity 101 or whatever. That's cool. Yeah. I don't mind any of that. But like to be like, that's the underlying foundational structure behind our societal structures, or like the foundation under it. Like, that's not fair. That's not right because that's not what our country's founded on. And this is a guy who believes in Jesus, but I don't think, but I'm not like religious. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard. That's a hard thing for me to define talking about, whenever I talk about stuff like I'm a Christian, but am I a Christian? People get mad if I say I'm a Christian because I talk about Buddha and I don't buy a lot of the bullshit. I think it's become a different thing, Yeah. There's people who talk about the red line Bible. Have you ever heard that expression? Yeah. It's like Jesus essentially, like his teachings and stuff, but not all the other craziness.
Well, there's also Bible church where they're strict to teaching just what the Bible says. So they are strict. Yeah.
The problem with that is that there's so many different ways that people write.
Yeah.
When it comes to literature and everything else, there's all kinds of different literary tools, metaphors, all kinds of things that they use that to claim exactly what it meant. Yeah. Or to make to me, the fundamental mistake of just taking everything literally. There's not as many people that do that, but man, that's crazy to me, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, did you read all of it? Because there's dads sleeping with daughters and shit going on in there. Yep. The fuck is happening?
It was okay.
I think the Bible's just like this, like, it's sort of like this, the story of the relationship between God and man, God and humans. That's what I think it is. And it is abstract as fuck. Yeah. I think there's parts that you're just like, what? But there's not words. It's this story, like it's a feeling. It's all these other things because we can't deny there's got to be some kind of communication besides language.
Yeah.
Language, I think one day is going to feel crude. It's like a crude way of communicating. Everyone says eventually mentally we'll be able to, talk. And we've talked about the telepathy. Yeah, the fucking Telepathy Journals podcast. Go listen if you don't know that podcast. It's crazy.
By the way, did you know that's considered paranormal?
That's the problem. Our language. You're like, what is normal?
It's considered paranormal.
It's like normal is what we know about.
Yes, normal is what we know about. Paranormal is defined as something that can't be scientifically explained. That's paranormal.
So is it possible that someday something paranormal could become normal?
Yeah, dollar. Because paranormal
science gets there.
Paranormal is like your telepathy, your telekinesis, your ghost,
your
UFOs, aliens, stuff like that. That's all paranormal because it can't be scientifically explained right now.
I kind of question that whole paradigm, that like the way that we think of that, like when we call it normal versus paranormal. When if you like were to step back and like get further away from the human species, you're like, is it really normal and paranormal? It's like shit you figured out and shit you haven't. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because science figures it out, then it's just known stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas when you don't understand it, it's mystical.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's mystical.
You know what I mean? It's like fucking, there's something
bunch of ghost stories
beyond it.
Bunch of ghost stories out there. Okay. Have you seen recently this fucking 100 people versus
the gorillas? Yes.
What is your take, dollar? Do you think 100 fucking people can take on a gorilla?
Here, I'm gonna be honest. I have refused to think about it. I have one of my 8th grade teachers. We all have to do end of year projects.
Yeah,
he wants to do a project like that where they involve it because it's such a trend right now.
Yep.
Of like how would it work in the physics, and so they're gonna narrow it down because like a fight, there's so many variables you're talking about. So they're narrowing it down to arm wrestling. Like if you were arm wrestling or whatever, and the amount of them, if you use that as the central measure of strength, and then compared like how many gorillas would it? I don't know. I know gorillas are fucking strong as fuck, but I also am a math guy, so I know that there's a certain number. Like I saw one that was like 1 million humans
versus 100,000.
Yeah, I'm
gorillas.
Pretty sure the humans are going to win that. There's too many. But it just depends. It depends on how they're going to fight them, right? And I've also kind of been avoiding this in general. Like when I see it, I like scroll right past it.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired of everybody talking about this shit. But I don't know. What should my take as far as like who would win?
Yeah.
And what's the basic standard?
We're just saying 100. It's 100 to 1. Yeah.
100 to 1. And is it just hand to hand combat?
Yeah.
I think it would be close. I think that the humans would probably win. There'd be a lot of casualties. And the gorilla, and if they didn't win, I could see it being like a draw where it was like down to 1 or 2, and they're just all fucked up. And then the last 2 people are kind of maimed too, but then the gorilla's fucked up too. I think it'd be close, 100 to 1.
Here's my take on it.
Okay.
Because as humans, we don't have that, I'm going to fucking just attack you, like, right? Our fight or flight is like that, right? We're generally like reactive. We're reactive,
sure,
right? Not proactive. Like
we're not predators.
If we see like a fucking, I mean, we're predators to an extent, but like against a real predator, like come on.
Even though a gorilla is not really a predator.
Yeah, technically.
But their aggression and violence is all directed at their own species.
Yeah, exactly. But I think like like you're saying the numbers, right? So if like 100 fucking people just pounced on top of a fucking gorilla, like, and just like pulled and everything like that and did everything. I mean, yeah, I think the numbers are there, but yeah, some fucking people are getting fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is
you're on the front line.
Because the other thing too is that like animals are different than us, dude. When they don't feel pain in the same way that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, who knows if they feel it, but their ability to push through it.
Yeah, because like I said, even like
they're not taking
personal
ibuprofen for headaches.
Personal experience, like when Duchess tore her ACL, fucking off, dude. She's just walking around like legs like dangling, and she's not whimpering or anything like that. Like her. Yeah. When I tore my ACL, dollar, I was like, fuck, like yeah. And their ability to heal, they heal pretty fast. When I got the surgery for Duchess, healed pretty fast. But that dog did not feel pain. I also remember when I was a child, our childhood dog, she had a fucking stick through it, like she had jumped like into this like, I don't know, in this field, and she had jumped into this field, and a stick just penetrated her chest.
Oof.
Fucking lodged in her chest, dude. And she comes out and she's like, and you're just like, oh my God. And you like pull the stick out, and dollar, it was like 2 inches inside of her body. And not whimpering or anything like that. So now think about that as a fucking large ass gorilla. Like our human hands, like, and we're,
there's going to be some casualties.
Yeah, dude. Like they don't feel that same pain.
It's funny you say that. My sister had a dog Biggie was his name, and he was
Biggie.
Yeah. There was a time it was snow in the backyard, and he was just running crazy, ran and jumped off a flower bed, literally landed on a pitchfork. We all thought he was a goner. Made it through it. He was all right.
Yeah.
He died years later of other things, but yeah, he was. That's the kind of thing, and you're just like, it's weird. Animals. You're right. You're right. It's a much more accepted part of life. They don't have this consciousness that's like going, I don't like pain. This sucks. Yeah. Right? They're just kind of like moving on with life. Yeah. Like there's an alert system, no doubt, going off inside their nervous system. Yeah. Like fuck. There's boop boop boop. There's an alarm going off, but they're so used to just living in pain.
But I think if a fucking gorilla did get hurt, right? Like let's say one of those hundreds like hurt a gorilla, I think the activity that they like fuck that hurt. That's not going to happen again.
Even more.
Right? Yeah, that's not going to happen again.
It would accelerate their anger.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, yeah, it's going to be like, I agree with you.
Bodies are literally going to fly through the air, too.
Like I said, I agree with you. Like, it's going to be fucking close.
Yeah. Because the strength, can you imagine? Like, if a gorilla just fucking...
And a regular orangutan can rip your arms off of your body. A regular chimpanzee can rip fucking limbs 100%.
Off. That's what I mean. I'm picturing a gorilla.
Yeah.
If it just grabbed a hold of you by your clothes or something, I mean, it could just chuck you into a fucking tree going 70 miles an hour.
Or into another human. Chuck you into another human.
Yeah, right. Pick you both up and just slam you together like two cymbals.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
No, I think at the end of the day, it's a math thing.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on. I'm like, if you have is 100, where is that, threshold? I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody would have to, and there are ways. I think it's actually a good idea for a math project.
I always think about that when I was thinking about the 100 people versus one gorilla. I always think about the time when Joe Rogan was hiking with Ari, and they were high, and they were talking about like, one person versus 110-year-olds or something like that.
Yes.
And he was like, he goes, can you beat 110-year-olds? He's
fuck
like,
them up.
Yeah. Joe Rogan was like, yeah, fuck them up. He goes, what? He goes, yeah. He's like, that fucking first kid is getting kicked.
The rest are gonna stop.
Yeah. He's like, once you fuck up that first one, he's like, but if they don't understand that, then we're talking non-humans. He goes, if they don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's something about numbers. Like even you've seen those videos of like when hornets get into bees' nests.
Yeah.
And then bees just smother them, just all of them, and they
overheat
flap
them.
Their wings and cook
literally
them,
cook them.
Essentially.
Literally cook them by overheating
that
them.
Would be a shitty way to go in general.
With the vibrate. That's how, dude, that's wild in itself. They vibrate them so much that they cook them.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
How'd you cook this? You bake it or fry it? No, I cooked it in bees.
Fucking, I twerked all over him and fucking cooked him. That's what the humans need to do, Dollar. That's what the humans need to do. All the humans just need to get ass to ass and start twerking and cook that fucking gorilla. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
And right here on the show, Mike.
I have solved it. I have solved the 100 people to one gorilla. We just need to take bee mentality and just twerk that gorilla to death until he overcooks from vibration.
You know what I think? I think it's a perfect time, Pierce. Let's head over and get a little bit of those fun facts. Having fun today. Okay. So I want to start us off with this one because I've been doing some deep dives, like I said.
Yeah.
Not just old extinct crazy predators. So this one. Trees are the longest living organisms on Earth and never die of old age.
No.
So this has come up before.
Yeah.
So I actually looked it up. I was like, currently, what is the oldest living anything?
Talked about this. Yeah. Okay. Anything.
It's a shrub.
Okay.
So this shrub, it's in Tanzania. It's called King's Holly.
Okay.
This thing is 43,000 years old.
Wow.
So some of that shit we were saying we didn't exist alongside, it did. And it's still here. So, but it's like this shrub that spreads with roots.
Yeah.
And then pops up everywhere.
Yeah.
So everywhere you test it, it's genetically identical. And you're like, oh, it's all one organism.
Okay.
It's all one giant organism. It has survived so much shit.
Yeah.
It survived like this giant fire that like tore through the whole thing, split it into 3 pieces. So at this current time, it's in 3 chunks. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It is not, what do you call that? It's sterile. It is the last living one of its species, and it cannot reproduce.
Because it can't reproduce with
All
itself.
it's doing is cloning itself.
Ooh.
I mean, like that's what the root system is.
Okay.
It's all clones.
Okay.
Because then when they get separated and they're living off on their own, that's a clone from weed, from growing weed. Same thing. That's how you start new plants. You clone them. You take them off a mother plant.
Well, it's almost like they can't pollinate itself, right?
Right. So if anything ever happens to it, it's just gone forever.
Yeah.
But it's survived crazy shit.
Damn, dollar.
I thought that was fucking wild.
How about this one, Mr. Germaphobe?
Uh-oh.
A handshake transfers more germs than a kiss on a cheek.
Oh my God, dude. Do you know how many hands I shake a day at work with students?
Yeah.
So many.
So you got to do the pound, dollar. You got to do
a lot more. COVID changed that. That's
change it,
way more common now to do the pound.
Yeah.
And then there's the two types of pounds, right? There's the straight knuckles. I have really pointy knuckles.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of bad sometimes. So if it's somebody else like me that's got hands like me and they don't give a fuck and I don't give a fuck, just pound it up, because a lot of times you're coming down the hallway and so your momentum's in opposite direction. You can really you can really get it. But there's the other people that they always do one of these. It's like a side pound.
Oh, okay.
And it's always awkward when one person goes like that and then the other person goes, straight knuckles and you get this whole thing. But it's usually the people doing this one are the ones that don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to stop doing that motion. Somebody's going to capture that. Okay. Dating a tree by studying its rings is called dendrochronology. However, a tree's rings don't only reveal its age, they can also indicate the occurrence of natural disasters such as volcanic eruption and a drought event, just like that one.
Yeah.
They know that it went through a fire.
Yeah. That's wild. Dude.
That is crazy.
Yeah. That it's just more than that.
Can you imagine if humans were like that?
Just slice
slice you up and you could see, this is that age.
Oh,
he went on a field trip in July of 77.
McDonald's on a regular basis. All right. Let's see here. The moon trees were grown from seeds taken to the moon during the Apollo 14 mission in early 1971.
Wow.
NASA and the U.S. Forest Service wanted to see if the moon's orbit caused the seeds to grow differently back on Earth. These trees were then donated to the State Forestry Services in 1975 and 1976. Moon trees.
Yeah. There's a plant. What's it called? It's called moonflower or something. I think
it's moonflower, yeah. I think you're right.
Regular sex can enhance mental performance by increasing the production of neurons in the brain. So you grow your brain by having sex?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Porn stars are fucking smart. Fucking geniuses. God damn it, dude. Can you imagine all that knowledge they're just wasting away over there?
Yeah, I actually had to get a skull increase because my brain was just so massive. It's the second large organ in my body.
Mr. Sound Guy.
It's a little late.
Mr. Sound Guy over here.
Yes.
Trees reduce noise through a phenomenon called sound. What is it called? Attenuation, which is the reduction of sound intensity. Leaves, twigs, and branches on trees, shrubs, and herbaceous growth absorb and deflect all those sounds and waves to mask unwanted noise.
Makes sense, right? If you're like in a big open valley and you yell, it just reverberates. But if you fill that same valley with trees and you yell, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
But what's cool about the trees is all the wind and stuff. They have their own sounds.
Yeah.
Just from like the wind coming through and stuff like that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love trees. I love forests. I love all of it. And what was the deal? Because some of these were from last week. We didn't even talk about them.
So last week was National Arborist Day, and it was Ella Fitzgerald's birthday, Al Pacino's birthday. So
right. So some Pacino ones in there.
Also,
so the total hours spent on the phone is 3.8 trillion hours.
And it was National Phone Day too.
Worldwide.
Telephone Day. Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Telephone Day. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
My brain can't even comprehend the number trillion. 3.8 trillion. I don't know what the fuck that means. That's like multiple lifetimes. I want to kind of do the math actually. So it's 1,000 million billion trillion. So 12 zeros, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you look up another one.
You're gonna do the math some more.
Yeah.
Today is also well, actually not today, but by the way, next Tuesday for $1 is Teacher Appreciation Day, National Teacher Appreciation Day. It's the second Tuesday of the month of May.
Teacher Appreciation Day. Yeah. But you know what? That's
National.
That is the holiday that fucked me up that one time. Do you remember my old story? I told it's on like Reverb Nation still. When I ate the cookie and then had the terrible bathroom experience. That was Teacher Appreciation, National Teacher Appreciation
So
Day.
it's the second Wednesday, yeah. Second Tuesday, sorry.
Gotcha.
First Tuesday. Sorry. Go.
Oh,
I keep on doing that.
So 3.8 trillion hours.
Okay.
Right? That's how much time we spend on our phone.
How
So
many
I just
lifetimes?
wanted to see like, I started with days.
Okay.
I'll do that next. I'll find that too. But I want to know how many days is that? You know how many days that is? 1.58333333 times 10 to the 12th power.
So how many days is that? That's just...
Still a number I don't fucking comprehend.
Okay, now let's do that into
So let's do
years. I wonder what years is. That's going to be a fucking...
It's
still a stupid number?
Still a stupid number. 1.04109 blah 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 times 10 to the 11th.
Okay, let's fucking do 100 years. A century.
A century. Okay. Well, no, think about that. That's only going to move it 2 decimals to the left.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. So let's divide it by
Jesus.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
We don't have enough time in this
doesn't matter.
podcast to figure the math out on this, dude. Jesus.
It's a stupid amount of time that people are staring at screens.
Fucking A.
That's as a math person, I always love it when you get a fun fact that has some kind of wild number like that. Because the first thing is like, I can't understand that. So I like to play with it and try to put it into terms where I can go, oh, I can see. Oh, okay. You can't with this one. There's nothing you can put it into where you'd be like, oh, it's 7 of these. Like 7 wouldn't
Yeah.
So
I mean, because like we were trying to bring it down to a number that we would be recognizable, right? Like days. Okay. Nope. It's still not understandable in days.
Yeah.
How about years, $1? Nope. It's still not even understandable in years. Even centuries. That's not even understandable in centuries.
Because even trying, let's be honest, it's our weakness of brain as humans. Because even 100,000. You know what I mean? You can kind of picture it like if you've seen a stadium with 100,000 people or some crazy situation, you could kind of visualize it.
Yeah.
But even then, you could, like if you were like trying to picture faces, like there's no way, dude.
Yeah.
We get to like, the human brain, if you're in regular association with people, can hold about 100, 150. You know, that's about how many faces you can really, really keep track of. Doesn't mean you don't see somebody from a long time ago and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember you. But they weren't conscious on your mind until you saw them again.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, just trying to imagine 100,000 people.
Stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just trying to picture all those fucking phones, dude.
It's just so many, dude.
Where do those phones go?
Yeah.
That's a lot of phones.
That is a lot of phones, $1.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, that's I'm still looking at that number. 13.5 million. God damn, dude.
It's so stupid. Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro also tried out for the part of Michael Corleone, but the director, Francis Ford Coppola, preferred to see Al Pacino in his role. Yeah, I wonder how Jack Nicholson would have done in that role. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have played him a little crazier.
Nuttier, yeah.
Yeah. He's good at being nutty.
Yeah, he is really good.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Al Pacino was also nominated for an Oscar 8 times, but he only won 1 for Scent of a Woman. Have you ever seen Scent of a Woman?
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Hoo-wah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a good ass movie. I really like that movie.
Yeah.
I was just looking at one. Oh, here it is. This is something I really got into for a while, buddy. Bonobos, the closest living relatives to humans, have peaceful, female-run societies where sex is used to resolve conflict. They literally make love, not war.
Yeah.
I've talked about them on here before.
Yeah.
They're like the other chimpanzee, right? There's 2.
Yeah.
Troglodytes is the other one.
Yeah, they're the fucked up ones.
Yeah, what's their paniscus is their genus name. Paniscus troglodytes and Paniscus bonobus. Those 2 are so different.
Yep.
Bonobos are tall. They're like longer, lankier, way less violent.
Yep.
And they literally, every conflict is resolved with sex. And it's everybody.
Yeah.
It's men on men, men to men to kids even. Yeah. Men to young bonobos. The only one that it never is a son and his mom.
Yeah.
That one's like the only off limits one. But it's like used as conflict resolution, which is interesting because that's why the chimpanzees are the closest to us there are. And there's really only 2 species of them. And one's on this opposite end that's like love, and the other one's on the far end of the other side of the spectrum. War, killing. They fucking hunt down monkeys, beat the shit out of them and eat them.
Rip them apart.
Rip them apart.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen any of those videos of chimpanzees hunting down
those monkeys, like
spider monkeys. They're not spider monkeys. That's in South America.
They're the bigger ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bonobos are crazy though. They're crazy. They just do it all the time.
You're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. You know what? Let's just smash. Let's just have sex.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
So humans, we take more after the troglodytes, right?
Yeah.
Because like if 2 people get into a conflict, eventually they're going to fisticuffs.
Makeup sex dollar.
Oh shit! It's in our DNA,
It's
bro.
in our DNA.
It's our DNA. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
it's the best. After you fight and you have like a crazy fight,
Yeah.
then you make up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little bonobo in us.
Oh my gosh. The average person farts between 12 to 25 times a day.
12 to 25? Is that everybody all the time?
I don't feel like I do that. I mean, I know I fart every day. Like in the morning.
Are there ones you don't know about? Maybe they're just like
the ones
minor.
that slip out at night, right? That you don't know about, right?
Yeah. Such a weird thing being a human being. Farts come with it, buddy. It's just part of life. Let's see. Marilyn Monroe helped Ella to get booked. Wait, who's Ella?
Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, Ella Fitzgerald. To get booked at popular 50s nightclub, Macombo. Oh, I've heard of Macombo before.
Yep.
That was a big one. Wait, what? Scientists have found that trees can flood their leaves with chemicals called phenolics when the insects begin their raid. They can also signal danger to other trees so they can start their own defense. Willow trees, for example, emit certain chemicals when they're attacked by webworms. Other willows then produce more tannin, making their leaves harder for the pests to digest. That's crazy. Plants communicating is a thing we know that they do.
And we all learned it from Fern Gully Dollar.
Thank you.
Can you feel its pain?
Deep cut right there.
Can you feel its pain?
I love that movie so much,
Yeah, dude.
Growing up. I remember when I found out you knew exactly what I was talking about. I was happy. A lot of people don't know Fern Gully.
Yeah.
Got to be older for one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, it was, great movie, man.
It was a great movie. That was a good one. Animated movies. Well, do you think there's truth to all that stuff? Because they always say like Disney's always putting sexual stuff, and there's like, because you can see it sometimes. It's real, huh?
Yeah,
but it's probably just artists fucking around.
Probably. It's like
sneaking
put a twist
them in.
on things. Yeah, putting their signature or something on that, like their Easter egg things, whatever they do. You know, because Disney does a lot of that stuff with Easter eggs, like as far as like putting like other Disney movies into Disney movies.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be a fun job, right? I wish
animator.
I was talented enough of an artist to be an animator. That'd be fun. It might get grueling though too, because animation, you're drawing it like 1,000 different ways. Do they even do it that way anymore?
Now it's changing. Yeah, it's changing, right?
Just fucking plug that shit into AI.
Yeah,
you're just like, make me a cartoon about a cat chasing a
draw one image. Okay, animate this.
Yeah,
make me a cartoon.
Literally, those are apps you can get where you can get pictures of people who have passed away.
Yeah,
put it in there, and then they're smiling and turning their head.
That's weird. That's fucking weird.
It is weird because it's not them.
Yeah. It's not them.
People just want that feeling so bad.
Don't hold on to that.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do if I want you to do if I go first, Mike. And just have a picture right here and just play old, and you just got to go with the conversation. Whatever old shit I was saying, you got to go with it, and it's just going to be an AI picture of me.
AI generated Tony Dollar.
I don't know why they don't really do that with their head. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah. Some of those AI videos are fucking weird. Like the way they move and stuff like that.
It's that, what's that called?
The non-human factor, obviously, right?
Yeah. What do they call that though? The something valley, uncanny valley. where there's a line where you suddenly you're like something's off.
Yeah.
And what's weird about it is like we get this weird feeling when it happens, but like if it's way off, it doesn't bother us at all.
Yeah.
But if it's like super close to real, but something's wrong,
Yeah.
that seems to like really irk.
I get
people.
irritated when people send me AI videos.
As if they're real.
Yeah. And you're like, bro, it's not real, dude. Fron.
Yeah.
It's just send me so many like, yeah. Or like AI, like, you know, the deep fake stuff. Like they're saying this and this and you're like, he never said that, bro. You know that, right? Like,
there's so many people who get fooled by all of that stuff.
oh, dude, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a big problem in modern society is that you can put bullshit out everywhere and there's so many people that can't discern it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people besides me. It never happens to me.
No, we've never had that happen.
Never had that happen.
Here's another one about trees again. Strategically planting trees and shrubs can save you up to 25% on your energy bills, dollar.
Really?
A shade tree can help cool your home as much as 20 degrees in the summertime. Not only do they provide shade in the summer, but they also serve as a windbreak in the winter.
Oh, that makes sense to kind of protect the house.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's even more so in Colorado with the shade thing, right?
Yeah, because of the UV index here. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that, like, where I grew up, if you were in the shade, there's a reason there's that song 96 degrees in the shade.
Yeah.
It's 97 in the sun.
Yeah.
It's not that different.
Yeah.
But in Colorado, it can be drastically different. You can be getting a wicked sunburn.
Yeah.
Step into the shade for a few minutes and you're kind of, ooh, I need to put my sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
Like, only in Colorado, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's the dryness and the high altitude, I suppose.
Yeah, the UV index, yeah.
And so is the UV index higher because we're at a higher altitude?
Yep.
So there's less atmosphere protecting us, essentially.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. And we have like 345 days of sun, right? We're on a
Sunniest state in the nation, yeah. Yeah, beautiful. We hung out with some neighbors yesterday.
Okay.
Which was interesting. So they're over here on the corner, you know, Alex and JD's mom and everything.
the opposite corner behind you?
Yep, exactly. Yes.
Caddy
back over
corner.
there. Yep, caddy corner. And so I've seen them over there all the time. They seem like cool people. They're always out there barbecuing and chilling and stuff. And then Alex became really good friends with them.
Okay.
And they like to get together and drink on the weekends and stuff. And so they've been asking us to come over.
Okay.
So we had the $5 in the backyard. We basically got kidnapped yesterday.
Oh, dang.
So we were
They're like, get over here.
Basically, we were in the backyard, and first we were eating dinner. We all ate on the back porch, and then we were all just hanging out. Jilly was cleaning her tennis shoes. Myra was doing stuff in the garden. I went and grabbed the guitar and was like jamming guitar, and then they were like, they saw us over there and like, hey, bring that over here. Come over here, guys. And we were just kind of like, yeah, okay. And then they kept us saying, and they were like, do you want some food? And we were like, oh, sure. Yeah, what are you cooking over there? We'll try something. But we had just eaten dinner.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, come on over. So then they were like, seriously, literally come over. Are you guys coming over? And it was like Alex and everybody was there. And we were like, let's go over there.
Yeah.
We were about to make sundaes with the kids. We had ice cream and everything. We walk around. I literally didn't have socks on, Pierce. I just threw my sneakers on. I thought we were going to be there for like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we go over there. Next thing we know, bro, we found ourselves sitting there next to the fire, just talking to these people. Myra drank a margarita.
Oh.
I'm like, I told him, because they were like, dumbfounded I didn't drink. Anytime people are really into drinking, they always like shocked when you don't drink
because they always want to know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're like, nothing's wrong with me. I just decided not to.
So I was like, well, I smoke a lot of weed, and then immediately the wife was like, get away from my husband. Like, he used to smoke too much weed. You can't. You don't want to smoke the weed. And so, but I told him about the podcast and everything, and he was dumbfounded by it. He was like, wait, so you have a podcast and you don't talk about anything? I was like, well, we talk about everything. We talk about live. We have interesting guests on. He's like, so what do? You like go to the concerts and find artists? And I was like, no, I just have a co-host who knows everybody on the face of the planet. And we, and he was asking, what's your vision? What do you want to? I'm like, there's no vision.
Yeah.
So,
what does he do?
He is an engineer, a mechanical engineer.
Oh, okay.
Math guy. We talked a lot of math stuff.
Okay.
Turns out his son is like a math guy and a musician. They're a little older.
Oh, okay.
Than I am. They flattered the shit out of me though, because they were like, "How old are you?" And they didn't ask I guess because it's rude or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said 46, and they like fell apart. But they're older. They're like 60 probably.
Oh, okay.
Late 50s maybe. And they said they thought it was 33.
Ooh,
I don't get that very often. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, thank you, and then sometimes you're like, How much have you had to drink?
Yeah.
No, but they're fun, and so we're gonna hang out on Memorial Day.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, hang out and get to know some people. The wife's from South Africa, which is really fascinating.
Okay.
And so we tried sausage yesterday that she made. She's like really into sausage, makes her own. Like she gets good quality pork and beef and stuff, and like has this
Does the casings and all that stuff,
does the casings, does that whole thing. Tried it, and she warned us before. It was a trip. It's not that it's spicy. It's that the American palate, the spices she used, it's trippy. I liked it.
Okay.
But it's weird.
Okay.
It was like as if it was almost sweet.
Okay.
It was like it was like if sausage was a gingerbread sausage. It was something like that. It
Did
was
she
like
sound like Elon?
Her accent was actually way stronger than his.
But he doesn't have much of one, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she had a really strong accent. But yeah, so that was fun. I don't even know what made me think of that. What were we talking about? Something we brought up a second ago, maybe.
Weed.
Yeah, maybe it was the weed.
And eating. Probably $1.
Yeah, we had 2 dinners yesterday.
Yeah.
They tried to give us 2 plates too.
Oh my God.
And we were like, we'll just share one.
Yeah.
We're like, we literally just ate. We ended up there for so long, bro.
That's funny. Just there for hours.
Yeah, came back. The kids were like, what happened to you?
Oh, because it was you and Myro just went over there?
Yeah, the kids were all here.
They all had their Sundays on loan. And fine, we'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah. I think it's important to get to know people.
Yeah.
We don't talk enough. We don't get to know each other well.
It's so funny that you said like I have a co-host that knows everybody on the planet.
You do.
So, somebody like I got a text and it was like, "Hey, do you by chance know this person to get these kind of tickets for this artist?" I was like, I don't know. Maybe I can ask around, I guess. Like
yeah. Can I know who's the artist?
I don't know. Let's see.
Somebody you hadn't heard of before.
I have never heard of this person before. So
that's the other thing. It's cool.
Goldford. A Goldford show.
What kind of music is it?
For next week, I don't know. So
turns out you know somebody.
I probably
you know his agent.
I actually know Goldford. He just goes by that stage name.
Yeah. Oh, Larry.
Oh yeah.
I know Larry. Yeah. Went to 3rd grade together.
Yeah.
Me and Larry. That's always your stories. It's always funny to me. Like it never ceases to amaze me because I'll be like, "Damn, you know everybody." I'm like, "Oh, you met him at this event?"
Yeah.
You're like, it's always something like, "No, we met in 2nd grade. We've been." Yeah, I'm like, "What?" Yeah, we were on the basketball team together, 2nd grade through 7th.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yesterday I had a lunch with my boss, my big boss, and it was just she does these lunches with us, and we were talking about like just life in general. And like the relationships and the friendships and stuff like that, because my boss also has like a kid Callie's age, they're
nice.
trying to find out like who they are and like their friendships and stuff. And I was like, at this age, to me, I believe this is a critical age where humans find their people. Yeah, that they're familiar with, that they're friends with, and stuff like that. Because that was me. Like a lot of my friends I found in like middle school.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and moving forward and stuff like that. And so, yeah.
And there's people like me that ran from their past. Just came to Colorado.
I'm done here.
I still talk to some people.
Yeah.
Where I got fucked was when I lost my Facebook this year.
Yeah.
That's where I connected with the most people from high school and all that stuff. Now I've lost everybody. I don't know. They'll probably find me again at some point. A lot of people are finding me, but I heard, isn't there a limit on friends or something now on Facebook? There? I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Huh.
Because I was just kind of accepting people. At first I was like, I'm going to keep it for family. And then I was like, nah, it's a good place to put music and the podcast clips and stuff like that. But on there, my name on Facebook officially is Tony Doe. But then in my background picture it says Tony Dollar, but still
That's stupid.
It's so
Dollar's
annoying,
not your
bro.
real name.
And it's not.
It is.
Which I get, like if that's the thing they're trying to stop.
Yeah.
But for someone like me who that's legit my name, it's on my license. I uploaded my license. I did all the shit. And they're like, nah. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? That's my real name, bud.
Yeah.
So I can't even go by my real name, which is
so
hilarious.
Stupid.
I couldn't decide what to go with. I was like, fuck it.
Tony, I bet you if you paid for that blue check mark, they'd give you Tony Dollar.
Yeah. If you can give them some money, sure. Slip a little money your way. That's about the only
Tony Dollar. Oh, okay. Yeah, here you go.
It's kind of scary. That's like a whole new commodity now, is like your online presence, right?
Yeah.
Because you can get smeared completely.
Mm-hmm.
You can get erased. You can get blocked and banned. There's all these different things.
Shadow banned, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, you had to be kicked outside the city limits,
Yeah.
Now you
Don't ever come back here, boy.
Now they just shut you off.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yep.
Can't be there.
Or your name is like just smeared, and like if someone Googles you and like,
all they find is fucked up shit.
Fucked up shit. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And especially that we're kind of, I think we might be coming off of it now, but we've been in this time where accusations are like what used to be convictions.
Yep.
You say somebody did something, they're fucked.
Yep.
And what made it worse was like people who, they would say something happened. It would be an accusation. They would lose their job. Everything would happen. And then they'd go to trial and they really were guilty.
Yeah.
That's what made it like a thing, because then it's like every time somebody gets accused, we tend to think like, oh, they're immediately guilty. They must be doing something wrong to even be accused of that shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot going on in the government too, my friend. Japan stood up to us.
Yeah.
Japan's like, nah.
Yep.
What do you want?
Yeah.
That was the crazy thing, was like when they came to Washington and we're like, what do you want?
Yeah.
He's like, no, you will give us what we want. What do you want? Not a clear answer.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck we don't. He's running everything like a 7-year-old child.
Well, I guess like Nike, Adidas, and another major shoe company all like were asking for special exemptions on tariffs.
I wonder, are they giving them to anybody?
No.
No, they're not going to give them to anyone.
Yeah.
He's going to have to back down, and the damage is not going to be undone,
Yeah. It's wild.
Mike Wall's fired. I don't know exactly why he got fired. Do you know?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he got fired. Maybe to do with the text messages. The Pete Hegseth texts. Fucking talking about war plans on a text message.
Yeah. War. USA. the pound sign USA.
Yeah. Yeah. Every day it's just something a little bit crazier than the day before. But you know what? I'm in the last month of school, Mike Pierce.
You are.
Heading into summer. We're not going to the Philippines this year. We're going next year.
Yeah.
So, which we'll have to stack episodes again next year.
Or we do one from the Philippines. So.
Oh, shit. Do a remote one from the Philippines, or you come with me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You come with me?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, bro.
And do a
oh
show
my
in
God.
the Philippines.
Oh, my God. I would then be the second largest guy in the nation. It's unbelievable.
Get some
local there, dude.
to get some locals on with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about the Philippines?
Some of those kids I was playing basketball with.
Yeah.
Just get them on here. Talking
It's
to the podcast.
very nice to be here in the Philippines.
Your Filipino accent is spot on.
And it's very nice. And you're like, you are a big guy.
You sound like Manny Pacquiao after he would fight back in the day,
Yes.
We work very hard.
And he's very strong.
Training, he's good.
He's good. But I am better today, and success.
Yeah, he's straight up politician now, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah,
that's like his life.
He's like switched it. Yeah. Wasn't there rumors of the presidency?
Yeah. At one point he was going to run for president in the Philippines. Yeah. There was talk of it. I don't know how far it actually got.
Yeah.
Dude, being politics in Philippines would be some dicey shit, bro.
Dude.
I mean, I think it's dicey here, but it would be real dicey.
I think we talked about this before. One of those YouTubes that I watched is like where it's like the most dangerous places in the world.
Okay.
And one of them was in the fucking Philippines, dude.
Really?
Where it's just like even the police don't go.
Oh, shit. The police don't go there because it's too dangerous?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. Well,
it's like no man's land.
Like it's like one of them was in Detroit. There's a certain street that at nighttime police will not go to.
Wow.
In a certain neighborhood.
So people are probably like, well, that's where you do the murders.
That's where that's where like abandoned houses, that's where they stack drugs, bodies.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that. It's been proven, dollar, that they do stuff like that. Another one was like in fucking South Africa, bro. Another one where it's like
I've heard there's crazy shit in South Africa, dude.
Where they just like the government is even like, no, we'll let them do their thing. It's like a whole fucking community is run by this like this gangster dude.
Shit. I'd be that idiot, a tourist in some nation, zigged when I should have zagged, went down the wrong fucking block. You're like, those places. Where are the street lights? Why is it so dark here?
A lot of fireworks going off here.
Hey there. Who is that?
I hear a lot of fireworks. Yeah. It's weird. It's during the day.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Well, you had that shit happen here. You had a bullet go through your window one time. Yeah. Yeah, in and on bullets going through windows. Ghetto ass places throughout the world. We talk about everything. We're just two regular motherfucking dudes from Colorado, raising kids, trying not to go crazy. Living life. Authentic conversations.
Yes.
Just a hobby.
Yeah. Afraid of giant ass birds, just like everyone should be.
Yes. So like and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Go to our website. Send us an email. Whatever you want. MikeandTonyShow@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. And with that dollar, it is a wrap.
Cheers.